This is a Galactic Network podcast.
The Podcast of Terror is a great podcast. It's covering movies that are not for children, and thus this podcast is not for children. The hosts are two adults who will use bad words from time to time. They'll also spoil movies if that's not your thing. So if you don't like spoilers and you don't want to hear some dirty language or some dirty references to dirty parts of your body, then please, please, please wash your body parts better and do not listen to this show. If you can handle it, and I hope you can because there's a great podcast coming up, then please proceed with Podcast of Terror.
Burn and fire, burn the fire. Burn and fire, burn the fire.
Want me to sing the Proud to Be an American?
Hello, and welcome to the Podcast of Terror. I'm Corey Scott, and with me is my co-host, Beto O'Rourke, pushing for your Democratic nomination.
So, real quick, because we talked about this earlier, it doesn't tell you until you go live when the Hangout is going away. Turns out Hangouts are going away August 1st. So, we'll have to figure that one out sooner than later.
God bless.
Yeah, right.
It's
But-
Hangouts.
But, before we deal with that, today, I'm proud to be an American.
Just today?
More.
Just this one day out of the year? Not even the right day.
No, it's because we're not recording this on the 4th of July because I'll be too busy blowing up a piece of my country.
Is that what you do to your wife?
She is a piece of my country and my property.
No.
I own her.
No.
No, that,
I mean, if
that's
you're
false.
talking about this country, no, that's not how that works.
No, not at all.
Some other countries, that may be the case.
It's possible. I don't own my wife. She actually might beat the shit out of me for saying that, but that doesn't matter because I'm celebrating my freedom.
Yeah.
I-
Of course.
I have a blue beer. I have an American cup. I have red, white, and blue Pop-Tarts in case I get peckish. After the blue beer is gone, I got a red, white, and blue Smirnoff Ice because it's refreshing.
It only looks blue.
I know. It's limited edition,
Do
though.
a red, white, and blue drink. It'd have to be like there would have to be oils or something in there to make some of it suspend in different order.
Well, I assume what you're supposed to do is drink this and then stab your enemies, and then it's covered in the blood of your enemies. That's where you get the red from.
Bash the bottle on top of your head.
Yeah. The white is because you won't be able to see because you hit yourself in the head. And then the blue is the color of the liquid.
Well, I got myself.
Levi says they taste like bomb pops. We're about to find out. I literally have never drank this shit before.
That would be dope. I got myself a Mountain Dew Liberty Brew, 50 flavors in one.
I want to know how free you feel after
My
you drink
patriotism is diabetes.
that. If you're watching the video, yes, I can't see through these glasses at all. I see blue and freedom. Blue freedom.
Blue Freedom.
Blue freedom. That's all there is to it.
I think that was my favorite feminine hygiene product when I was a kid.
Blue freedom.
Blue Freedom.
I actually need to see now. So
Isn't it the same deodorant company in the Teen Spirit? They had Blue Freedom was one of their flavors.
did you just call it deodorant scent a flavor?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly.
I don't know what your fetish is.
It's not eating deodorant.
Not deodorant itself. Licking armpits.
Oh,
Wasn't there some like singer or actress or something like that who licked an armpit in a video? I don't know. I'm gonna go for this.
I don't know.
It's a beautiful bouquet of poison.
Yes.
Not literally poison. I mean the band. I mean it probably tastes like Bret Michaels' balls
Ooh,
and Ricky Rackman's. No, that's not Rackman. Ricky Rocket's
I have never. So
unemployment.
this past weekend, it's Sunday night, so it's over now. But this past weekend was the country festival near me. Are you dying? Are you having a heart attack?
Oh,
Did you drink too much freedom? Did you die from too much freedom? I don't know. Corey's making sounds. It looks like he may vomit.
that is not good. That is a horrifically bad decision.
So you drank. You're too free right now.
I'm I'm free to throw up. I think you can't just stop at one. You got to go for the second sip
Oh, no.
to really dedicate yourself to it.
Well,
this country has been built on pussies.
Well, you're dying from whatever flavors you're currently experiencing. So there's this country festival that has happened, and I was in the city that it took place in yesterday. It's like 20 minutes south, but I don't ever go there. And I was at a gas station behind a bunch of guys with sleeveless shirts tucked into their underwear and mud boots, buying chew, wearing cowboy hats, and then one of the girls that they were with had a Bret Michaels cowboy hat. Made me think of that.
Did she have the bandana underneath that was hiding her baldness?
I don't know. She was not
That's
much
the only
to
way to
look
be
at.
authentic. This tastes like blueberry and Deep Woods Off. It's
Sounds like something I'm into. I'm just throwing that out there.
like an antiseptic that is actively trying to hurt you as opposed to heal you. It is just terrible.
If it makes
Erin asked me to get her one. She said, "Can you save me a sip?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I usually go through the thing in the show. You're not going to want any of that." So I went and I bought her one today, and
Has she drank it yet?
no. And I think I love her enough to not let her.
It depends. I mean, if she upsets you, then you'll be like, here's this Mountain Dew I've been saving for you.
No, I don't think I could do this as somebody. Oh, this is for you, America, or our listenership, which is considerably less than America.
The things we do for our country.
Well,
We're gonna have a moment of silence for your insides.
there were 50 flavors involved, and none of them were right.
I want to know what the 50 flavors are. What is this? Is it
I don't think
American?
anything's going to admit to this.
What is it? What's the Freedom Dew?
Liberty Brew.
Liberty Brew Mountain. Liberty Brew.
Oh.
Stop drinking it.
It's important.
Because you're not a fucking quitter. I like that about you. Oh, I forgot Dew SA was last year's flavor.
Oh, I wonder what that tasted like.
Didn't realize that there was a Mountain Dew drinkers Discord channel.
Oh, I didn't either.
Oh, it says the 50 flavors in question are unknown and isn't known what they combined to make yet.
Nobody knows what the 50 flavors are. We just counted 50 things we put in there and said, fuck it.
I want to know
Roadkill,
what the fuck these flavors are.
Chlamydia.
It's everything freedom. So are you going to read all the Dew flavors like the Pornhub categories? Yes, Beatmaster. If I find them, I'm going to. Brew flavors. Now I have to find them.
Methamphetamine.
Yeah. Windex.
Oh. That's just... I've never struggled so hard to drink a Dew before. Oh, well, no. I had a Kickstart. Is that what those things are? The breakfast Dew?
Yeah. They're not bad.
The ones that are part juice. So I was at work a couple weeks ago. We ordered... We have pretty good lunch counters at my workplace. And in fact, sometimes we'll go from our building to the other building because their lunch counter is a little bit more spiffy. But just for the fact that they serve us food in our workplace, in our offices, is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any regular Mountain Dew that I could find. So my coworker convinced me to get the Kickstart one. And he's like, yeah, the fruit punch and the grape ones are pretty good. And I don't know what his comparison was, but I got the grape one because fruit punch just kind of throws me off. Always reminds me of Hawaiian punch, and I just didn't go for that. And it was horrible. It was just so awful. And he went and he bought me a regular Mountain Dew. He found one somewhere, and he popped that in front of me. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't feel right wasting this thing. And he's like, well, you should chug it. And so the 4 IT guys are all sitting there, and they all start going, chug, chug. And then the rest of the room starts going, chug, chug. I don't know what they thought I was drinking, but the activity jumped up quite a bit because there was potential for a guy to chug something, aside from Dick, in the lunchroom. And famously, before I had eclasia, I had no gag reflex. So, yeah, that thing was gone. And then they expect me to crack it or squash it on my forehead. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, how is he going to prove you're a man? I cannot find these 50 flavors.
They don't exist. No one's going to admit to this.
No, because I'm sure there isn't 50 flavors in there.
Do they tell you what the flavors are in Dr. Pepper? Because isn't that like 17 flavors or something wacky?
23.
They don't tell you the 11 herbs and spices. We figured it out. But
Oh, here, the 23 flavors are cola, cherry, licorice, amaretto, vanilla, blackberry, apricot. Blackberries listed again. Caramel, pepper, anise, sarsaparilla, ginger, molasses, lemon, plum, orange, nutmeg, cardamom, allspice, coriander, juniper, birch, and prickly ash.
Prickly ash?
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know why blackberry's in here twice, though. And this is the Dr. Pepper website.
Blackberry and really blackberry?
Yeah, the blackest berries.
Oh.
The blackberry from the wrong side of the railroad tracks.
It sort of grows on you in the sense that it saps your will to live.
I've read someone's review, and they said that you have to drink it in one sitting because it goes flat really quick. I also just found a $10,000 soda machine that I think I might purchase. Do you think the show would pay for this?
Matt is now making the big money from podcasting because he had his first episode of the Cast and the Furious this week. And it got not only had sponsors when you started, but then you said partway through, oh, we should get this other thing to sponsor us. And all of a sudden, that other thing sponsored you.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Well, I'm doing it with someone who's a lot cooler than I am.
He is pretty goddamn cool.
Yeah. He's got a sweet butt.
Yeah, so I recorded the Democratic nominee debates this week because I had your show to watch on Wednesday night. And then on Thursday night was the 200th episode of The Overcast, hosted by our friends JF and Amy, which was a lot of fun to sit and hang out in their chat. Excuse me, I think I actually just belched into the microphone. I'm now...
No, you didn't. I didn't hear it, at least. I thought you were having a heart attack.
It's coming.
We're all... Did you hear there was a Korn cover band, which in itself is not a good thing. The drummer had a stroke halfway through the song and finished the song and then collapsed. He's like, I just thought I was dehydrated, but he said his vision blurred in his left eye. His left arm went numb and he couldn't hold the drumstick, so he finished the song with one arm, which goes to show how easy Korn is to play on drums.
I actually thought that With One Arm is the name of a Korn song.
It'd be a Led Zeppelin song.
They should do like Korn songs in the style of early Clapton so they can call themselves Cream Korn.
It'd be better. I was trying to think of something funny, but their band the name is Korn again, so it's not even that good.
It's actually not terrible because I'm struggling to come up with anything, and so I went for the ultimate dad joke. But Korn again is pretty good.
I mean, it's not the worst thing I've heard, but
no,
not the best thing either.
They didn't just go with Maze.
Would have been better.
Might have been easier, but you know, they might not have been the first ones to get it because there's so many goddamn Korn cover bands out there.
Kids Pop style. Call it Candy Corn.
Oh God.
Levi Krause. I cannot take credit for that one. A friend of mine and I started talking about doing a Bush cover band, and we're going to call it Gwen Stefani's ex-husband's band. Oh. Like, all right, we're just going to play fucking Machine Head for 3 hours.
You should get Gwen Stefani to just sing for it, and then you can call it Gwen Stefani's Bush.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Because I assume that Gwen Stefani's Bush doesn't actually exist.
No. She's as slick as a ski hill. Hang on.
Hey, Cast and Furious.
Yeah, you like it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm a sucker for you guys.
It's finally on iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher. It's on and Google Play. What a fucking nightmare it is to get your show out there sometimes. I was blessed that Dave did all that for us with this show.
We were really lucky with Dave. Yeah. And then, of course, it's continued on with Brad and Nessa, and in my case, Beatmaster and you. It's yeah, there's actually work that goes in these podcasts. I know none of the listeners would realize that from just listening to us.
Yeah.
But and Matt puts in the minimum effort
Yeah,
at
I
the
really
end of
do.
the show.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like master it and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I pulled it on the internet. Minimum effort.
That's true. You go door to door to everybody's web browser, just kind of like
Just I asked them if they've heard the good news about
Good
their
word.
Lord and Savior.
yeah.
Try and sell them a vacuum cleaner.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm still trying to choke this down. I'm doing the best I can.
that's fine. Just put it
Stop.
in your mouth. Yeah.
So we do have to request people go watch the video version of the show just to see your puticitude of how
do I have to
proud
Google?
American you are.
Oh, right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're basically you're like a Teamster union, all wrapped up in your own little package.
I made promises that I would America the fuck out for this episode, and then watched the movie and realized that this one has nothing to do with the 4th of July.
No,
That is a shtick they put into the show later, or the movies later.
but it does have like this strange feeling of civic duty, like, oh, hey, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
In case you haven't read the screen yet,
We watched The Purge,
we're talking about the Purge.
and that's not what Corey does on Sunday mornings.
It may be what I do Sunday night after drinking this Mountain Dew.
You ready to hear me open this freedom?
Yep. Wow, that was as disappointing
That's
as my
really,
freedom
yeah.
actually has turned into in this country.
Really lackluster. Because I'm not a savage, I'm going to pour it into my America cup.
By the way, I'm teasing. My freedom is doing just fine. I'm still
Yeah.
very Caucasian.
Yeah. You and me both. Fuck. There's so many things I thought of to talk about. What are we doing next week?
Don't know. We had talked
Behind the
about
Mask with
if
Anthony.
we were going to do the Saw movies.
But is Anthony coming next week now?
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
So 2 weeks, we're going to do Saw 1 and 2, which I watched last night. Which I very much remember those movies being better than they are. But we'll do that in 2 weeks. Beatmaster commented on my opening of the bottle as Next Level ASMR. There's a Michelob Ultra commercial.
Yes.
Michelob Ultra ASMR commercial. Something else I also watched that I wanted to tell you about is there is a kid on the internet whose name is Superhuman with 2 M's. And all he does is jump through shit like a wrestler would. But he starts every video by saying, "This goes out to all my juggalos and juggalettes. Don't try this at home. Whoop whoop." Takes his shirt off, slams it down, and screams, "Fuck this shit." It's hilarious.
That's the whole thing.
It is, but with the way he talks is so like jumble mouthed.
Did you say it's 2 M's or 2 N's?
2 M's, HUMMAN.
So super humming,
It is basically super humming.
which is a reasonably cool name, anyways.
Yeah, I don't want to play the video because I don't want to get in shit. But I want you to hear what this. I want you to hear this guy talk.
I will listen gladly. And
Oh, the blue beer was coming back up. I had to make sure I didn't. Oh, it might be inappropriate for some users in case you're not sure. But
let's see if we can take this show to another level.
enjoy this.
This is Super MT Show. Today I'll be jumping onto fire. This is for juggalos and juggalettes. Don't try this at home. I hope you like it. Woo woo. Fuck this shit!
Oh, he jumped into a pool after he jumped into fire. And he kept his shirt on in this video. I highly recommend you check Super Hummin' out. It's really hard to understand what he says, but I believe he says superhuman early in the video.
I think he thinks he said superhuman, but
Oh, great. Eric is here.
dude, I can only handle so much freedom before we talk about this movie. Let's talk about this movie.
No, let's totally talk about this movie.
What? Are you super humming?
If you want me, I can start an all mouth band and call it super humming.
Yeah. Sounds like you're in a corn cover band. I don't know if you're making it.
Super hummus.
Oh, man, I am like deeply. A lot of times I just come home and all I do is I grab some naan, heat it up, and then have some hummus, and that's my dinner.
Smirnoff.
Right now.
The American Smirnoff Ice is pretty goddamn good.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it's just sugar booze.
Look, yeah.
It was worth my $8.
I wonder if any of the flavors in this is booze.
No.
It's probably just one person screaming boo.
They pay a guy to just scream boo at the vats.
Yep.
For 8 hours. The Blackberry is probably listed 3 times.
Pepsi has failed America.
Remember the Christmas Pepsi?
What's that?
Christmas Pepsi? It was holiday Pepsi.
I don't remember Christmas Pepsi, but I had gotten and drank on the air holiday Mountain Dew. That was like a cranberry flavored.
Yep.
And it was solid. That was okay. That's why I had hopes for this. But there's so many goddamn Dew flavors now. I can't.
Yeah, do you want me to read all those off? It was Holiday Spice
please.
Pepsi.
Yes.
All right, Mountain Dew flavors. The Holiday Spice Pepsi.
I'll try to swig this.
The Holiday Spice Pepsi came out in 2008. All right, hang on. I got it. Let me get my list ready. I need a acceptable list. No cheating. No cheating. Mountain Dew flavor.
I just feel like as I drink this, I can feel the pelvic inflammatory disease building up.
Okay. Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Do I need to list all the kickstarts?
No,
Okay. What about
because that's like the cousin Oliver of the Mountain Dew family.
amps?
No, I don't.
Okay. What about around the world ones?
Around the world ones, like just international Dew.
Yeah, because I mean I'm looking at one that I've never once seen.
Not on a podcast about America,
Well, all right.
unless it's North Korea because we're besties.
Then I need to find. Oh, here we go. Region specific. I just want the United States.
I totally believe that there is some sort of propaganda video out there of Kim Jong-un was born of Mountain Dew Liberty Brew
Probably.
and pees it out nightly.
That's possible. I don't think some of these still exist.
No, probably most of them don't. Some of them just bleed into each other. Let me rephrase that because I feel my kidney stones sort of are already bleeding into each other. But I think some of them, like the name goes away and it comes up with a new name, but it's the same general flavor.
Yeah.
In fact, general flavor should be next year's July 4th Mountain Dew.
Oh, that's so good.
Goddamn right it is.
Get at us, Mountain Dew. All right, are you just going to pound it? There's Berry Monsoon, Blue Shock, caffeine-free Diet Mountain Dew, caffeine-free Mountain Dew, Cherry, Citrus Cherry, Cold Fusion Freeze, Cyclone, Code Red, Diet Code Red, Sport, Dew Iced, Electric Charge Freeze, Game Fuel Berry Lime, Goji Citrus Strawberry, Gold Mountain Malt, Grape, Great Plains Gold, Johnson City Gold, something about KFC, Livewire, Mountain Dew AM, Mountain Dew Cotton Candy, Mountain Dew Freeze, Mountain Dew Red, Orange Mango Dew, Pitch Black 2, Raspberry, Rusted Malt, Solar Flare, Sport, Sweet Lightning, Thin Ice Freeze, Violet, Whiteout, and Wild Berry. Ah, you're dead. You didn't even finish it, did you? I'm concerned for your safety right now. You're not saying a word. Well, now I'm worried you froze on me. Oh. I feel like Corey froze. You better now?
Am I back?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know what happened.
You froze, and there was a very real moment that I thought you were having a heart attack because of how you froze.
No, I was done with it by the time you hit Code Red.
Oh, that's fine. Beat thought that I read them too fast and you exploded.
That would have been totally fair and believable. And probably the only thing that would have gotten us better ratings.
If you exploded?
Yeah.
Like, see the
Panic
first.
Clones drink Mountain Dew on Podcast of Terror. It'd
See-
be like the Daffy Duck trick. It's like I can only do it once, but God, the audience loves it.
See the first American to spontaneously combust on the internet.
This is how I do the 4th of July.
I mean, I'm down for it at least.
Motherfucking no shit. I've got nothing about it. It's like, that's it. It's now an empty bottle of Liberty.
It was.
It'll filter the crack.
I don't know what to say.
So you chose The Purge for our America show.
Remember this movie being a lot better.
I've never seen this movie. I've never watched any of the series.
They don't get any
very-
better.
Yeah, Aaron was preparing me for it
Yeah.
because she's seen it. She didn't know about the TV show.
Oh
But-
God, I didn't even make it all the way through the TV show. I forgot the kid who's a complete post.
Which one?
The son.
The son?
Yeah.
All right, so about 2 or 3 months ago, I can't remember if it was
Just gonna get
before
into my
I
red
started
and
work.
blue Pop-Tarts while you start this.
Yeah, you got to do it. I can't remember if it was before I started my job, but pretty recently I watched a movie that I had never at least seen all the way through before.
It looks sunburnt.
Wow, that is sad looking.
Yeah. And the frosting but doesn't even cover the outer
Yeah.
holes.
It looks like a Infinity Gauntlet.
And it has the structural integrity of cardboard.
Yeah.
Tastes like cardboard too. Sorry, you were
What's the
saying
flavor
something.
supposed to be?
Red, white, and blueberry is what it's called.
Red, white, and blueberry.
Yeah. I just think they dyed the crust red, and it's blueberry juice inside.
Ugh. Just everything was wrong about that. I hurt so much right now. I'm literally dying inside.
This is the things that we do for you people.
Oh, yeah, because we can't make an enjoyable show to listen to. We have to fall back on props. We're basically the Carrot Top podcast. It's like,
The Carrot Topcast?
that would be good. Is that the next show you're going to steal from me, you son of a bitch?
No, I don't think Carrot Top's got time for me.
I feel like Carrot Top has a lot of time for a lot
Last
of
I
things.
heard, he was still doing a show in Vegas.
No, he's actually. You
I'm gonna see what Carrot Top's up to.
It's easy to shit on him, but I
Yeah.
can't remember a time that I've ever seen his act and not laughed. I don't know. I'm not proud of it, but at the same time, he does what he's supposed to do.
Do you know what his real name is?
No.
Scott
Wendy, right?
Thompson.
What?
Scott Thompson.
Oh, well, then he can't use that because that's the guy from Kids in the Hall.
So that's why he's going with Carrot Top. No, he does. He has a residency at the Luxor in Vegas.
I really thought you were going to say he's a resident, like he's working to become a doctor somewhere.
Possible.
Like I just started this gig, playing props and stuff and everything because I had stuff around the room when I was helping patients and everything. I was trying to cheer them up, and it kind of caught on. And
And then
Like
they
Ken
made it
Jeong?
into a movie called Patch Adams.
yeah. Where is the Carrot Top movie? I assume he had one.
No,
Really?
he was in.
Yahoo Serious had 2.
So he was Carrot Top Rocks Las Vegas 2003. Sorry, that may have just been a stand-up though.
Yeah, that sounds like it probably is.
He was on Three Stooges, Dennis the Menace, So I Married an Axe Murderer, Space Coast Coast to Coast, Scrubs, Weakest Link.
I just feel like Carrot Top did some throwaway film with attractive blonde bee, so Courtney Thorne Smith.
He was in Sharknado 4.
Well, there you go. Quality film.
Yeah.
I take back everything I said about Courtney Thorne Smith, who I met once. She was very friendly.
Let me Google who she is.
She's from Melrose Place and Summer School, if you're cool. And if you're not cool, then according to Jim.
What is her name?
Courtney Thorne Smith?
Courtney Thorne Smith?
Courtney
Yeah.
Thorne with an E.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Ooh. First picture that shows up is not flattering. But, I have low standards.
IMDb doesn't always choose the best stuff.
No, that's... I don't remember her, though.
Did you ever watch Summer School with Mark Harmon?
Mm-mm.
All right, so have you ever seen NCIS?
Mm-hmm.
All right, now picture Gibbs from NCIS as the ultimate slacker teacher who just wants to surf all the time and has a dog that he feeds peanut butter and jelly out of a jar. And then he goes and has to teach summer school for a bunch of rejects.
Is this show great?
It's a movie. It's an 80s movie.
Oh, it's an 80s movie.
It was great. It absolutely was great.
I'm going to watch it.
And Shawnee Smith, who is from your Saw movies that we're going to be doing coming up, was in summer school as well.
I will watch Summer School.
And I think the dude from The Leprechaun was in there.
Which one?
Sorry, we were watching The Leprechaun the other day.
The original Leprechaun or the...
Yeah.
Okay. Because the guy who plays the Leprechaun from the new Leprechauns lives in Oshkosh, Wisconsin.
I didn't realize there was new Leprechauns.
Yeah, WWE bought the rights and remade it.
That's too bad.
And then used their midget wrestler.
I don't know. I heard they're doing a TV show based around Hellraiser.
Haven't they been doing that for a while?
Not that I know of, but maybe, because we couldn't figure out what channel it was supposed to be on and when it was starting.
You and I, or you and your wife?
My wife and I.
And they're remaking it into... They're doing a reboot of the movie, too.
Well, I feel like they've done that like 9 times.
Yeah. Well, this was just from Friday. Okay.
So, The Purge.
Yeah, well, yeah, sorry, you were saying something, and then I started eating Pop-Tarts, and we got real off track.
Us, never. All right, so this was your Voice of America pick. Now, you were saying because the other one seemed really patriotic, but the whole thing about The Purge, from what they introduce, is that it cuts down on crime in America because everybody goes and bangs it out on one night a year. So it brings the crime rate down to 1%, is what they say. And I assume that 1% is just people who can't read calendars.
Yeah, I mean, the concept is kind of strange. I was in a something I wanted to ask you is if this was real and you had the inclination to do something, murder someone, rob his door.
Well, that's just
would you really wait until one specific day?
Well, so whenever I've had the doctor's appointment and they're like, yeah, you can't eat anything after midnight. So at 11:58, I'm in there just shoving everything in the fridge into my gullet. I kind of feel like I would play with the numbers a little bit. It's like, oh, yeah, the speed limit's 55. I'm going to go 57.
Right.
Until I hit 80. But I don't know. They do say that it's all of a certain level of crimes, including murder, are okay. But you can't kill senators or congressmen or people part of the government.
Right. I wanted to know what is a class 3 weapon.
Right. Guns, obviously, shotguns and stuff. There were machine guns used in this.
Which a machine gun is a class 3 weapon.
Right.
But, so I guess if class lower, then we're looking at class 5. Class 4 weapons, the last and highest class of weapons, sometimes referred to as class 4, covers what the NFA calls destructive devices, or DDs. Destructive devices are bombs, grenades, nuclear weapons, flamethrowers. So you cannot use destructive devices. Bombs, grenades, nuclear weapons, flamethrowers, dynamite, rocket launchers, tanks, javelin, missile launcher, Harrier jets, so on and so forth. But you can use class 3, 2, and 1 weapons.
It's a weird thing to put in there. I guess it's just to make it more personal. It's like if you're going to go out and kill somebody, then you have to they have to have the opportunity to be able to kill you back.
Yeah.
And that is sort of the thing with weapons in general. It's like, okay, you brought a gun to a knife fight, that sort of deal, and then just upping the ante and upping the ante and upping the ante.
Yeah. Yeah, and I guess the weird thing to me is like, so I personally, the way I thought of this is like, I have no interest in murdering someone, but hey, maybe I want that TV and I don't want to pay for it.
Right. Yeah, I was like, dude, I would go to the zoo and hang out with a polar bear. You can't stop me.
That's a good point, but you're playing the odds that someone's going to kill you on the way there.
Well, I know that's the problem. Is like they need a lightweight purge day. They shouldn't call it the purge. There should be like every 6 months there's the purge, and then 6 months later is the verge. I did something that was bad, but not like horrible bad, just kind of like okay bad. Like I can understand, you wanted to blow off a little steam, so you broke into a fucking mattress store and ripped all the tags off because you fucking rebel you. That's what I want. That's my speed.
You're weird, man. But I don't disagree. Sorry, I'm just in flavor country.
And I also feel like if I'm gonna have the need to kill somebody, I don't like the idea of having to wait. And especially them knowing, like, dude, I've been watching Corey this week. That motherfucker really seems on edge, and he keeps looking at me funny over the cubicle wall. And maybe I leave town for Purge Day. Like that's right there is exactly the first step of, hey, there's a purge happening on Tuesday. What are you gonna do? Be in fucking Canada? Purge some fucking pancake batter. That's what I'm gonna fucking do. I'm not gonna hang around. Oh yeah, my house is safe because I got money. No, fuck your money in a house. Get the fuck out of the country.
Part of the latest movie is the first Purge, and that's part of what they talk about. Is like people leaving. So the new one, spoiler if you haven't seen it, but the first Purge takes place on Staten Island, I believe, or Brooklyn, I believe. And these movies turn into like this whole big like commentary on race segregation, which annoyed the shit out of me because.
Well, the very first one is about the separation between the rich and the poor.
Right.
And it's the entitlement of the people who are trying to go into this house. They're going after this one guy that they keep saying is a homeless guy and deserves to die anyways. And, we don't want to come in there and fuck up your lives because you're like us. But we will because you're keeping us from our game, which is killing this guy. But
they also, did you notice the line where he's like, 10 years ago we couldn't afford to pay rent and now look at us.
Right.
And it's like, so they're trying to bridge the gap between the homeless guy and them, and then later when they all take a turn and like, we're going to defend this random guy. But honestly, if it were me and it was like, well, these people are going to break into my house who clearly have way more money, and I just don't want to fucking deal with it, I would have just kicked the guy out the door like they originally were going to. I'm sorry.
That's what he wanted to do. But the reason that he doesn't, so Ethan Hawke's character is not a good guy in this. And he's a guy who
also not a good actor.
Purge. He believes in the purge, at least in the public sense of it, but his family are his source of humanity. And even when we start out, he doesn't seem like he's a good dad. He doesn't have a very good relationship with his daughter. She's kind of sick of his shit. Although she's a teenager, she should be sick of his shit. And she's trying to keep him from hanging out with her boyfriend, who he was right, but fuck it. That's just how it is with teenagers.
That was a stupid fucking plot line that didn't need to happen.
Like 3 things at the opening. It's all like, oh shit, well, I can see 100% where this is going to go. And the first thing when I see the boyfriend is hanging out with the daughter, it's like, well, this guy's going to try to kill the dad.
Well, if you want to make a point to be like, well, he's too old for, like, maybe say how fucking old they are.
Right.
He didn't look that much older than she did.
Well, yeah, they do kind of present her as... She was played by a 23-year-old, but yeah, she's
but I would
on
say,
that verge of like she's 16 or 17.
Right.
For whatever reason, it's like, so because he's 18, because she's 16 or 17, you're talking into a night where you're going to go have people be murdered by other people.
Right.
This is the line that you're drawing in your morality slate. Okay.
But that whole like entrance, the whole first scene where they're making out and all that shit only exists so that he can make Ethan Hawke turn for 3 seconds so that the random homeless guy that they brought in could run away.
Right.
That's fucking stupid.
That part is stupid, but it does again make sense. If you've got especially your teen hormone guy, and you're like, I'm in love with this girl, and no one's going to keep us apart from each other because we read Romeo and Juliet. I mean, I didn't read Romeo and Juliet in class because fuck that, I'm not stupid. I bang chicks for a living. I'm
what?
cool. So I don't read, but I heard the teacher talk about Romeo and Juliet, and there's some shit that happens, and so I'm going to kill this girl's dad so we can be together until I get tired of her when I'm in college next year and getting all that sniz.
Ooh.
That's his thought process, right?
I don't even like. I don't know. They also like.
I'm the kid who read some Shakespeare, so
No, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But they also
not for school.
There was no like inclination as to the size of this house other than the random outside shots. But regardless of the size of your house, if you live there, I feel like you should know it enough to find someone in it. Regardless of the fact that if it's dark.
Well, they did just have an addition put on. That's part of it also. So the house has recently gotten bigger. We know that the son has a secret crawl space thing of his
beat station.
So have you ever seen the movie Hostage with Bruce Willis? Because this is where I was starting.
No, sorry. I haven't.
All right. I just recently watched this. That Hostage is from the late 90s, maybe like 97 or something.
Yeah.
And Bruce Willis, Kevin Pollak?
Kevin Spacey?
No, not Kevin Spacey. Kevin Pollak. Kevin Spacey was another movie as a hostage negotiator, but that was with Samuel L. Jackson. But in the movie, Bruce Willis is a hostage negotiator. He has a fucked up moment where he's talking to this guy all night, and the guy's going to shoot his wife and kid, and he thinks he can talk him out of it. Keeps the SWAT people from going in and shooting him because somebody's going to die besides the dude himself.
Yeah.
And but then the guy winds up killing the wife and the kid and himself anyways. And so Bruce Willis retires from it. But in this movie, he's working as a small town sheriff, and some guy, Kevin Pollak, has a house that is like hugely secured, the same sort of security system kind of thing. And these three guys kind of come and take over his house. The daughter is presented as being the hot teenager that one of the guys is really attracted to and wants to get rid of the dad and stuff because of her. The son is the sort of like hides in a crawl space guy who does everything in the background to keep the things kind of progressing, but calls in Bruce Willis to help him out. And Bruce Willis is on the phone with him because he's a hostage negotiator and stuff like that. Bruce Willis, in the meantime, is trying to save his family because it turns out Kevin Pollak's character works for some mafia people, and he's got something that they want, and they're like, you have to go in there and get this thing for us, or we're going to kill your wife and daughter. But the parallels and the way the house is presented and a lot of the scenes are almost exactly verbatim to this. So this is like a 10-year later film that just looks on the surface very strongly like the same goddamn movie as The Hostage. So that right there is already a point where I'm like, this film didn't try very hard at all. The only thing interesting about the film is the fact that they have people who are going out and get to legally kill people, but then they put them in these stupid masks. Yeah. Why do you have to wear masks if it's okay to go out and kill people?
Because I think it's supposed to show that they're trying to separate from their everyday life to the monsters that they become this one night. But then why did the fucking main dude take his mask off?
Takes his mask off immediately and looks just like the mask did.
Oh, yeah, a douchebag.
His face is exactly the same.
Yeah.
And then the girls are just running around in like little shawls and shit. Like they look like a fucking cult.
Yeah.
But just for this 12 hours, it's like, woohoo, we're all psychotic just right now. But then tomorrow we go back to school and like, oh, I'm going up to Harvard. You know, what are you going to do? It's such a shit fucking stupid thing. And like, I'm pissed off too that you've got the guy in the house. You should put the guy out of the house. Okay, well, I just shot my friend in the head because he spoke out of turn. Like, and then everybody else is okay with that. What the fuck happened to Tom? I don't know. Dave just shot Tom.
So
why did you shoot Tom? Well, Tom went up there and spoke.
So,
okay, well, let's keep hanging out with Dave then.
This is the one thing I noticed when he got shot. What'd you call him? Dave?
Yeah, Dave.
Dave and Tom. Okay, so Dave runs up there and yells, and Tom puts his hand across his chest and shoots him. And then in the next scene, it cuts, and he's holding the gun like this, in his other arm pointed out. instead of across his chest. Sorry, not everyone's watching this. That kind of annoyed the shit out of me. I'm like, that's not that fucking hard to recreate that you're just standing with a gun across your chest. It's very difficult to masturbate to this movie.
I didn't find it as difficult.
Yeah, I remember before when I suggested this movie, I remember being a lot more. I remember thinking it was a lot better, a better concept. I didn't hate the concept. It's just a lot of the execution was.
They've gotten a lot of mileage out of the concept.
Yeah. You'd have to go see the other ones because they go so far from this concept of like where it's a rich family and they're just trying to do something nice and then it kind of blows up in their face. It really turns into like a racial thing. Like I believe the next one is a similar night or like the next year from a black family in the projects, and then
I'm not surprised because it seems like that this film would speak more to people of color who have had separation of wealth be such a big factor in the entire existence of their portion of the country.
But they turn into action movies and not horror movies.
Yeah.
And this is more of a thriller just because of the whole suspense of being in the dark and someone in your house. That's my biggest problem with it.
Yeah, it's a home invasion thriller movie.
Which the first one is, and then the next three are not.
Right.
Whatever.
I don't have a huge problem with it. The movie overall was okay. Again, the same thing. I saw it telegraphed when the neighbors like bring her cookies and then talking about and building up the house. I was like, please surprise me with this. Please have it not be that it's the neighbors that are trying to kill them. It's like, okay, so it's not the neighbors technically that try to kill them. It's just the neighbors.
The neighbors gave them up.
Right.
Yeah.
The neighbors first give them up and then come out later on and save them so that they can kill them. Which, again, it's like, okay, we're pissed off and we want to come after you because you guys made all your money off of selling a shit. Don't buy the shit, you dumb bitch.
Right.
Just don't buy it. That's a fucking problem for you, is that you're upset that someone who lives in your neighborhood. Now, seeing the fact that the shit didn't work, that would kind of torque me off. And I'd be like, oh, yeah, now I fucking want to kill Ethan Hawke. I also want to kill Ethan Hawke because he did a really shitty job of a Violent Femme song in Reality Bites just because he was pissed off at Winona Ryder.
Jesus. Right.
Step back, Ethan. You're not that great. But in this context, that's a real shitty motivator. Other than the fact that it's just go for it 100%. Say, we just kind of wanted to kill you guys. We figure we kill you, our property values go up. No, they don't. They go down. I guess that doesn't make any sense at all. Well, maybe they would go up because it doesn't matter that people died during the Purge. Purge is just a factor of life. It's just a force of nature at that point. Everybody's into it. It's like, oh yeah, great. I'm going to move into the house where the people died from the Purge.
That's a good point.
Maybe lightning won't strike twice.
But you feel like if they just wouldn't have let the guy into the house, nothing would have happened.
Well, the kid's the one who let the guy in the house. And so, so part 2, do you give your kid the code to open up the fucking door? No, you don't have everybody come sit there, watch you punch in your code, and then so they can do that. That's some crazy ass shit right there. That's unfucking believable.
Also, the whole scene where the guy's standing in the street screaming for help seemed really weird. Because it was like he screamed and he yelled and like he didn't say anything until he got to this one spot where their camera could see, and that's when he decided he was going to start to talk. If you were really running away, wouldn't you just run to get away?
Well,
and not stop in the middle of the street and be like, well, this seems like a really good time to start screaming for help.
If you have no place to run to, and you know that there are people around you, it's like Scream. Didn't they do that? No, it was Halloween.
Yeah.
In the first Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis is running door to door trying to get somebody to help her, and people are turning on the lights and then turning the lights back off because they don't want to help her. They don't either believe her or they do believe her, and they're like, get the fuck away from my house. Don't bring that shit to me. But
wouldn't you not stop?
You have no other way around it. If he knows that there's so many of them, they've already killed people that he's with, he's as desperate as can be. he is in an affluent neighborhood where everybody else is in protected homes and likely have security cameras. Yeah, asking for help is the only thing he can do. I get that. I get the son being who he is, wanting to let him in to protect him. I get the dad saying, no, let's not do that because I have to protect you guys. You're my reason for being here. And so get him out. It's just, it takes a while for the rest of the family to kind of determine where they're at. And I think part of it is because the daughter's so shook up from the boyfriend being killed at the beginning.
Yeah.
And the wife just doesn't know where her morality is at this point. She has been convinced by him to believe in the purge. You know, it has benefited the family, and it seems in a way, from all the way the news and stuff makes it, that it's benefited America. They do a good job of selling that because it just seems so normal.
It seems like they went from being so into like, we're just gonna fucking kick this guy out, to one person in the family being like, well, let's not do it. And everyone's like, oh, he's right. It was like a 5-minute span. The
moment of her like stabbing him in the wound.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Like that was hardcore. That was a moment of like, and thank God for Lena Headey, who can pull off a role like that, who can be believable and shit like that, because she is a really great actress.
Yeah.
But it is this shit of like, how far can you go? How far will you go? If you're convinced that it's okay legally, where are you moralistically? And that's a thing that a lot of people have about religion, is that they say, well, if you don't have religion, then, you know, why would you not sin? Why would you not do the most horrific things in the world? It's like, well, because some of us just have morals.
Right.
You know, we don't think those things are things that you want to do no matter what. It's not like if rape was suddenly legal tomorrow that I'd be like, yay, that's what I've been waiting for. No, fuck, that's awful. You know, my life is about trying to not harm other living creatures. And so I don't need anything else coming in. I value that religion is out there as a choice.
Yeah.
And I probably have learned a lot of my morals from religion, even if I'm not a big practicer of it. But no, that's just inherent to existing. Is like, my existence is about like, no, don't fucking hurt people. And hopefully you don't get hurt in return, but that's not the only reason. Jail is not the only reason. The rules are rules because some people need rules. But for some of us, it's like, it's just, that's the best way to live your life.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other thing is like, if someone is truly crazy, or kind of like a point you made earlier, not everyone plans out when they're going to kill someone. So right.
And that's why there's still like a 1% crime rate.
Right. But I still think it would be higher than that.
I do too. And so I think that, again, part of it is, and you keep talking about how it becomes a race thing. I think the race thing is a big part of it in this. It's just that we only see it from the perspective of the wealthy. It's like, yes, you're protected because you're rich. Mm-hmm. And where it breaks down for them is that they realize that with the circumstances shifted a little bit, is they can be just as victimized, and it's this false sense of security. And that's, I was talking to somebody the other day about, because their door broke, the lock on their door broke. So one of my coworkers, his boyfriend left, and when he did, the deadbolt in his front door broke off. And so he's like, well, I'm now stuck. I can't go out the front door. And I'm like, well, you got a sliding door? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you got a bar that goes there? They're like, you just slowly close it. But I just wanted to say, like, really, these things are just arbitrary. It's a false sense of security. Your door locks, but people can break into any portion of your house very easily. Most of the time, you don't have your windows locked. You don't have your windows closed in this kind of summertime heat.
Right.
And we're just kind of letting ourselves kind of live on the hope that people obey this rule. Oh, the door's closed, the door's locked, the windows shades are down or whatever, or I think someone might be home, so I'm not going to go and fuck with their shit. But it's very easy to go in and fuck with somebody's shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's what the whole idea of this, we've got this great security system, and he's like, yeah, I've sold all these people the security system. You don't know if it works, though? Well, it works most of the time, except for when it really doesn't work. It's like, because this is not the kind of thing that people are supposed to do. Even during the Purge, we expect them to obey a certain case of rules. And part of their rules was that they were rich. They lived in an affluent neighborhood. They didn't think they would be targets.
Right.
And so this black person who is, again, said to be homeless, although I don't know if that's even necessarily true, but this guy is brought into the neighborhood being chased around by these white kids who are very, let's face it, very racist in their motivations. You know, if not racist, then classist. And they're running around and they believe they deserve to kill this person. And so they feel like if you're protecting this person from us, then we deserve to kill you too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely in this one, it's more of a classist thing because they are saying, well, we're very well educated and we're very rich. And this guy's poor, so he exists for us to kill him on this night.
Right. And I just can't imagine that any of those kids go back to living a normal life the next day. And what I do
Sounds
really
like every year
about,
they do.
What?
Sounds like every year they do this. So
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, but I don't know what their normal lives are through the rest of the time. And that's the thing is also teenage kids are pricks anyways. And what they might not do in murdering you, they might do in other ways. They might do in destroying your reputation or destroying your grades or conniving against you to not letting you be brought into certain clubs or groups or jobs or whatever.
yeah.
Because they feel high and mighty. And again, that's not exclusive to any particular race, but it's a classist thing. But like the neighbors decide they're going to come around and they're going to kill this family. It's like, well, Ethan Hawke's dead, so we're going to kill Lena Headey and we're going to kill their 2 kids. Like, holy fucking shit. Like, being mad at Ethan Hawke, his character, is one thing. Being mad at the mother is another thing, sure. Going after their fucking children, like, that's, again, I can't just imagine how you wake up. It's Tuesday, killed some kids last night, but I feel good. Feel energized. Gonna go to Starbucks. I just, that doesn't sit right with me. But what I loved in this movie, again, most of it being obvious, is that when they've got the drop on these other people, when they've got the ability to say, do you want to kill them now and get back at them for what they were going to do? Lena Headey's like, no. She sits them all down. She makes them wait until the time's up and just stands by like, nobody else is going to die tonight. She'll beat the shit out of one of them. But she makes them wait it out so that they don't have that opportunity anymore. And it would have been very easy for them to just say, kill all these motherfuckers. But that's what she's decided that she's not going to do at this point. She has got to live with the fact that her kids are over there, over her husband's body, their father's body, dealing with the fact that he's been murdered and everything else that they've gone through that night. But now these people have to deal with what they've done. They have to face up to it. They have to own it the next day. And I think she's in a very different position than they are. She did some heinous shit. She was going to send that guy out to be sacrificed in a sense because she was trying to protect her family. And then she stopped herself. So even in that, it's like, I can 100% go with, I understand why a mother would want to protect her children at all costs. But she even then stopped it and said, no, I'm not willing to go that far anymore. And at that point, the dad was also like, yeah, I'm not willing to go that far anymore either. I realize how fucked up this is, which is good. But these people were not that. These people were like, yeah, we just shot all these kids to save you. But we were saving you because you're our fun time for tonight. So they were just an amuse-bouche to the real murder that we wanted, which is you and your husband. Mm-hmm. And since your husband's done here, we're going to kill your fucking children. It's like, fucking hell. That is just nuts. And that's the part of The Purge that makes it unbelievable for me. But on the other hand, very believable. Because I think people are at a point in this time where they don't look at other human beings as equals. They don't look at them as human or worth caring about. In a moment where we are literally locking children up in cages and people are making the excuses of like, well, don't use the term concentration camp because that's so out of line. It's like, kids fucking dying in cages away from their parents is out of line. But sure, hit us on the technicality of word usage.
Yeah.
Like, that's why The Purge feels like a necessary series of movies and TV show. Why it's connecting with people, and why it may be connecting more with people of color than it is with white people who don't see the irony of it. It's like the people who watch Colbert and don't realize that he's making fun of the right because he's just doing it so well. He sounds just like them. Old Colbert, not current Colbert. He was very in your face about it.
I have no frame of reference here.
I'm sorry. There's no way to talk about this movie without being political.
No,
And I get that different people have different political views, and I'm not trying to insinuate that all people on the Republican side of things are necessarily anything like any of this.
Yeah. But
there is a grand, loud movement towards acceptance of this that is really disturbing to me. And that's, if nothing else, that's what The Purge does, is it kind of like paints that picture. And when it came out, seems like a very quaint time compared to how things are right now, when it feels very authentic.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if anyone ever tries to enact this.
I've joked before about, I believe in cullings. I believe in, getting rid of certain parts of just like humanity just don't make sense anymore. It's a joke. It's absolutely a joke. I don't have that kind of stomach. I don't hunt. I don't have the ability to clean up fish. When we had mice that were getting into our kitchen, I got non-kill traps, and then on the week of Christmas, I took 3 different trips out to the fucking wilds to let mice out and try to find them someplace safe to be that wasn't my house. Like that is who I am as a person. So I know that I would not survive this. I would not survive a zombie apocalypse. I would not survive any number of things where it requires me to kill someone else or put my life ahead of someone else's. I don't think that's who I could ever be.
Yeah.
But in theory, does it seem that far-fetched that this is something that could happen? No, it feels like something that probably has sort of happened anyways, and this is just the next logical step for that.
You want to rate this, or? I mean, I've kind of said all I got to say. I don't know if you have more.
No, you know me. I can rant for 5 hours.
And exactly why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
The old Mary fuck kill. I'd fuck it. I don't own it, but I've seen it a few times.
Yeah, I feel more like I was fucked by it.
Boy.
Yeah, it's I think it's a not great movie, but it's a better concept, and there's some good stuff to it. I think the actors are good in it. But the whole thing with the masks seems silly to me. The whole like cultish aspect of the kids seems overwrought and silly to me. But I'm glad that the family just doesn't get away.
Yeah.
Unscathed. I felt a little bit. I was both disappointed and again impressed that when things were done and the guy that they had protected and then it actually saved them at the end, that he starts to walk off and she says, "Are you going to be okay?" And he's just like, "Yeah." I was expecting you should stay with us.
Yeah.
They did what they needed to protect each other in the long run. So I was surprised that didn't happen. But again, that would be a very pat ending on a movie that shouldn't make you feel that comfortable or comforted at the end. Like you should walk out of this feeling like everything's fucked up and continues to be fucked up. And Tuesday's shitty. There's no Starbucks for you.
Beatmaster says that the Purge already exists. It's called Black Friday. Which he's not wrong.
No, retail is a very good example of...
yeah. Everything wrong.
I worked a lot of retail and a lot of Black Fridays. It's gross.
Oh, boy. So, did you pick you said you were fucked by it. Is that your decision?
Yeah, I think it's a middle. I think it's
Fuck
worth seeing.
that.
I'm glad that I finally watched it. I definitely didn't despise it, and I didn't love it. It's right in the middle for me.
All right. Well, that works. We still never did a different outro. Where can people find you, or what do you want to push this week?
I think I have to push people to check out The Cast and the Furious.
You don't have to.
I
I'll
want to.
purge your balls if you don't. But I was kidding. It was a joke.
Yeah.
It was a joke. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram and on Tapman the Lifeguard. Yeah, I guess that'll do it.
And next week we are watching
Behind the Mask
Behind the Mask
with
Our
Anthony.
friend Anthony Raus is going to be here to join us for it.
Yes.
It's a suggested film. I've not seen that one either, so it's another one that I've had kind of floating around there.
I think I tried to watch it once and never. I don't remember what happened.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'll do it for there. Whoop whoop. Fuck this shit.
Fuck this shit. And stay scary, everybody.
I